Well, people may find this very shocking and interesting. Only some people actually know the truth. But we're not gonna lie about it. So, probably about 5 years ago, my friend was on her MySpace page, and we were just looking around, and I saw Noe's picture, and I said, "Who is that?" And it just so happened that he was a fireman, and we had a lot of mutual friends. So I told her, I was like, "Wow, he's gorgeous. You know, where's he from? What does he do?"
She ended up friending me, and when I went on my computer one time and checked, I had a new friend request, and it was this Adrian Snow, which I didn't know, but she was mutual friends with a couple people that I knew because we went to the same high school. So I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll add her as a friend."
So from there on, we kind of just talked online for a few months, and eventually we ended up meeting. We tried to meet a few times, it never happened. And then one night we ended up meeting at the Buckhorn in Dixon.
Ended up going out there with my buddy Harley, and we all hooked up together and hung out and had a good time from there on. And ever since then, we've been hanging out, and here we are now.
I pretty much did the first move, so that was all me. The weirdest thing is I told, at the time, my really close friend and also roommate, I told her after I met Noe and we hung out a few times, I said, when I talked to him on the phone, he sounds like a surfer dude. Which blew my mind because he's from Fairfield, he's a fireman, he's not very wearing Hawaiian shirts, laid back, he's very skaterish. And I said, every time I talk to him, he sounds like a surfer.
She was overly, and she still is, organized. Because I'm not, and she is, and I thought that, I think it's hilarious though that she's very, the way she is organized. There's a movie that we saw, I think it was with Cameron Diaz, I think it was her. No, it was the girl from Sex and the City, and she went to bed, and she was like, girls can't go to bed because they got the list. She lays down and she has a list of everything she has to do the next day. And I was like, babe, that is you. So we laugh about that because she's always thinking about what she has to do. So
the one thing I do remember that he did, he would come over every Wednesday night to watch The Hills with me and my roommate. And he hated that show. I mean, he knows all about them, Lauren and Heidi. He knows all about them, but he would do it just to hang out with me. So that right there kind of said something personally with me instead of my friends and my family.
When we first started, actually became official, I was hanging out with her family and I was telling them that I've never been to Disneyland. And I said, yeah, I've never been to Disneyland. They were like, oh my God, you've never been to Disneyland? And they said, we are going to Disneyland. And I said, really? And this was about like around March. My birthday's in August. And she said, we're going to Disneyland. All of a sudden, like within a few weeks, we've had her family had flights booked to go down to Disneyland. They had a hotel booked to go down to the Disneyland hotel, and we were there from Monday through Friday. My birthday was right in the middle, and they said, you know, we're taking you. So I figured, man, this family took me in. You know, I've known them less than a year, and they said we're going in. So I felt that was a lot to do with her, and her family's the same way, how she is. And I said, you know what? This is a girl that I think I could be with for a long time,
So the proposal, everyone apparently knew he was proposing besides me. That's what they all say. I don't know, it was in December. We planned a New York trip, and we planned it a year ago, but it didn't happen. And then finally when it came around, we were very excited. I really love Christmas. Christmas is probably my favorite holiday. And so he really wanted to take me to New York for Christmas.
The original plan was for me to ask her underneath the Christmas tree at Rockefeller Center. And I only had plan A. That was it, no plan B. So when we went to New York, the first night, I was like, okay, I'm ready to do it, ready to go. I told her, let's go to the Rockefeller Center. We're gonna go out there and see the Christmas tree. And at some point, I was gonna do it.
And we're standing there, we see the tree. All you really can do is look at it. So after that, I said, let's go eat. I'm hungry, you know, let's go have dinner. So we had to go have dinner down the street, and then he said, let's go back to the tree. I said, well, we already saw it, so it's kind of being a brat. And and he knows that.
And I was trying to build up, and she knew I was acting a little weird.
And so at that point, I got really nervous because then I started thinking in my head, oh my God, he's gonna propose, he's gonna propose. And then I started thinking, please don't propose, please don't propose, please don't propose. I got really, really nervous. And it actually was starting to form a circle a little bit around us. Like people might have noticed what was happening and they backed up.
So I was trying to build up courage, and finally when I was getting ready to do it, I'm like, all right, this is it, time to do it. The lights turned off on the Christmas tree. I didn't know the lights turned off on the Christmas tree, but apparently they go off at 11:30.
So the next few nights we were out really late, and it was very cold, and I lost my jacket, and he would not let me wear his jacket. And we didn't realize it till the next day. I was like, babe, I was really cold and we couldn't find a taxi and you didn't let me wear your jacket.
So I had the pocket, or the ring, in this pocket in my coat. So every time we'd walk around New York, I'd have her on this side, and anytime she tried to creep up on this side, I was like, oh, come to this side. So she wouldn't feel so I wouldn't have the box like poke her or something.
We went to Central Park on I think the fourth or fifth day, and we went on a carriage ride, and he didn't do it then, but he did jump in the carriage first. Usually ladies first. No, he hopped right in because the ring was in I think his left pocket, and he needed to get on the left side because he was worried that we would cuddle or something and I'd feel it. So all these things, and I was like, that's kind of rude, but whatever. And so we go through the whole carriage ride, nothing.
We were coming back, I pulled her to the side, and we went behind this little stage near this walkway in Central Park, and we found this awesome little place that just had two people that were there, and it was like vines all over and very quiet, no one was around, and then that's when I dropped down on one knee and proposed to her.
What did you say?
I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember at all.
That was a really good memory.
Yeah. All I remember was her saying, you have to put the ring on my finger, and I said, you have to say yes first. And she goes, yes.
The one part I forgot that you did, remember we were walking down the street that day on our way to Central Park, and that guy almost sprayed me with a hose. And
oh yeah.
He goes, sorry, I almost sprayed your wife. And we're holding hands, and Noe turns around and drops my hand, and he goes, she's not my wife. And I looked at Noe and I said, was it that serious? You needed to do that? So I think he was just paranoid. Cool. Yeah, you didn't. So at that point, I mean, that was weird. What was happening? And that was about an hour before he proposed.
Yeah, so try to not make it that obvious. I'm excited about kind of going ahead and starting our family. Both of us have gone through a lot, you know what I mean? It's kind of going to the next chapter of our lives and moving forward and enjoying, you know what I mean, the rest of our lives together and growing old and happy and having kids and having a good time with them and sharing our love we have together with them. So
I like it all except we're growing old. It better be cute old.